Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Katie Taylor, and I work for Natural State Beef, selling ground beef to schools all over the state of Arkansas. All of our ground beef is sourced from small and medium-sized cattle producers in our own state of Arkansas, and then we're able to distribute that to you, to your schools and cafeterias. I want to talk to you today about the LFS grant, the Local Food for Schools grant. We were able to participate in it during the first round in 22-23, and we're excited about the next round. The grant, the LFS grant, is it's money given through the USDA to the state of Arkansas, to all states that want to participate, but in our case, the state of Arkansas. And then schools can apply for however much money they think they can spend locally. So by the end of this, I hope that you will feel comfortable and confident applying for the grant, and that you will also just feel ready to go ahead and grab the bull by the horns and access this money and spend some money locally with local vendors. We'll go to the next page. Some reasons that I love the LFS grant. Starting off at the top is the pre-approval of local vendors through the Arkansas Department of Education. So when you apply for the grant money, which you're probably doing now, we are at the same time, we as vendors and local producers, we're applying to be a vendor, right? And so you apply as a school, as an institution, and then we're applying as a vendor, and we've got to submit, some information to the state that just ensures that we are a legitimate farm or company selling legitimate food to schools that meets the requirements of our Arkansas schools and institutions. So I think that's a little bit of insurance for you. It's a good way for you to know that, okay, if this is an LFS vendor, I can do business with them. They have been pre-approved. They've been, looked into by the state, and they're a legitimate company or farm to do business with. So I like that on the from the perspective of a school or nutrition director. I think the LFS grant is a prime opportunity for schools to experiment with local producers here in Arkansas. So I think it's really the heart of nutrition directors all over the state to source food locally. They understand that, we have really got to buckle down on quality of food that we're sourcing. Quality has really plummeted over the past couple of years in our food. And so I think that we all know that it's important for us to start sourcing locally from, just the vendors in our own state where we can verify them, where we know the practices that they're using, where we know the ingredients that are going into them. There are no secrets because we're here, we're all here family. But I think that we all understand that in a quality way. That we want to source quality foods. I also think that we are aware of the demand of that from parents. Parents are increasingly interested in their kids' diets and in the quality food that their kids are ingesting. So I think that this is also a good way to build your program in your community and really promote that healthy aspect of sourcing local food. I think that it's also worth saying that, local food is not always the cheapest option. In fact, it's very rare that local food is going to be the cheap option because it's a higher quality, and that's understandable. But it is difficult, as you no doubt are facing budget restraints and budget pressure. It's difficult for you to go out on a limb and deal with a vendor that you've not experienced dealing with yet. You've not purchased from, you don't know their product, you don't know their customer service, you don't know their capacity. And so it's difficult for institutions, for schools in particular, to go out and to purchase from a local vendor when you've not done any sourcing from them before. But the LFS grant, again, it's money specifically designed for this. So it's a way for you to have that experiment paid for. You can reach out and you can buy from these local vendors without touching your local, your district's budgets. So I think that that's a good thing. It's also an opportunity for local vendors to learn how to work with schools. When a local vendor approaches you, bear in mind that, they don't understand the world that you live in. They don't know your everyday life. And so a lot of the terminology, a lot of the lingo is going to be new to them. Things like case sizes, label requirements, this is new to them and they want to learn it. So give vendors a little bit of just understanding that they're not going to come into this knowing everything. But the LFS grant, again, it's built for this. It's built for you as an institution to be able to do business with a vendor that perhaps doesn't have all of this down and they don't understand everything. Or maybe they do, maybe they're a vendor that you've dealt with before, and this is just a way for you to continue doing business with them. But I think that the grant is a really good way to build those relationships with local vendors. And it's extremely difficult. I will just say, like, personally, it's extremely difficult to access the institutional markets, to sell to schools. It's very, very difficult for small producers to do that. So use this grant and let's help stimulate our local economies, local food systems. There's 3 forms of very simple documentation that I want to go over quickly. First page is going to be the Performa invoice. And if you do business with Natural State Beef, I got you. I'll fill out all your paperwork for you. You don't have to worry about that at all. You'll just sign and send it into the state of Arkansas. So that's all taken care of if you do business with Natural State Beef. But if you want to do business with other vendors, then I'll just go over this paperwork for you, and then you'll understand how to do it for them as well. Shipper or producer at the top of the Performa page. So that's page 1 on our screen now. Shipper or producer, that's Natural State Beef. The date is going to be the date that the agreement was made. So, if it's January 5th, today is January 5th, and our delivery, we're going to set it up for January 12th. The date is going to be January 5th, what we list right here, because that's the date of the agreement. Invoice number, order number, estimated date of delivery, January 12th. Carrier, Natural State Beef. Distributor or school, your school name. Instructions, I typically like to put the child nutrition director's name and then cell phone number if they're willing to provide it, because we like to have direct contact with the child nutrition directors so that if there's any changes that need to be made, if there's a delay in the delivery, what have you, we have that contact and we can reach out to you and keep things simple. Item code, ground beef, details, all natural whole cow ground beef, 8515 with nutrition labels. There are no real guidelines. That's just something for you to write so that you understand what the purchase was for. Quantity, we sell in pounds, and so we've got the weight unit in pounds. You could do cases, you could do bushels. Everybody's going to be different how they want to do that, but we do pounds. Subtotal, and then if there's packaging charges or shipping charges, we don't charge for deliveries. So as long as you're purchasing a minimum size order, we don't charge for deliveries. And then you'll put your grand total. Terms, prepaid, collect, or other. We do collect. Sometimes that's not feasible for a school, so that's okay. We work with you too on that. Producer, I sign, and then I print my name, and then you'll sign where it says distributor and print. So that's the Performa invoice. The Performa invoice and the second page, which is what I call the request for payment, they will be submitted 10 days before your delivery. The state is very lenient on that. It can be more than 10 days on occasion. It can be less than 10 days, but they do prefer about 10 days before the delivery for this paperwork to be submitted. So the next page, request for payment, it's called the LFSA Grant Local Food Assistance Invoice. At the top of the page, it's going to say warrant or DD, that's direct deposit. If you want a check reimbursement from the state, you select warrant. If you want it to go just directly into your regular account, you're going to go ahead and put your account number on there. Now, this is your school's regular district account, so they can watch for that direct deposit, or the check will be provided to them as well, so you can tell your secretary to be watching for that money. Agency name, so that's going to be your school, your address, your mailing address where the check would be mailed to. And then again, the claim date. So again, that's that purchase date, not the delivery date, but the purchase date. Vendor number, that's your regular commodity vendor number. County that your school is in. Telephone number, and again, invoice, amount to be reimbursed. And then a description of what you're purchasing with this requested money. Then you will sign down below and date. The bill of lading. So this is the final piece of paperwork, and you will actually have 2 days after delivery to submit this. And this is just to let the state know that, you've sent in your Performa, you've sent in your request for payment. This is the this is the proof of purchase with your bill of lading. So you'll send this in, and that's when they will reimburse you for this purchase. Carrier, natural state beef. Date of delivery is going to be January 12th. Okay. Bill of lading number, order number, shipper or producer, distributor or school. The contact, that's again, that I just put the child nutrition director's name and phone number on there. In this case, it looks like this was originally a bill of lading for Flippin. So there's Miss Marcia Ivan. So hello, Miss Marcia. And thank you for your business. And then item code, ground beef, details of the product. We've already been through that. Quantity, again, in pounds is how we do it. Subtotal, total, again, the terms. And then down there in the two boxes, those boxes are for our delivery man to sign when he picks up the product and then when he delivers the product. And you will sign down below that you know the ground beef was received in good condition and everything is satisfactory. And then you'll submit that to the Arkansas Department of Education. So I hope that this was helpful in clarifying some of the questions about the LFS grant. If it did not answer all of your questions, my cell phone number is at the beginning of this video. It's listed on that cover page. Feel free to call or text me anytime, shoot me an email. I'm always happy to talk. We hope to do business with you. We appreciate you applying for this grant and trying to enhance your local food procurement program in your school. We hope that it's a successful experience for you, and I know that it will be. And again, reach out to me anytime if you have questions, if you'd like to place an order, or if I can help in any way. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.